Hey, it's Niclas, and Pokémon Champions has finally released to mixed reviews. I downloaded the game right away on Wednesday and even recorded the first few games I've played, and while I thought about making a video about that, I believe this video right here is a whole lot more interesting. Pokémon Champions launch was not received that well, and that for many reasons. But are those reasons that problematic? Or are people overreacting, which is anything but unusual for Nintendo releases? I want to go through each of the problems that a lot of players have had so far, and I will talk about whether or not the criticism / hate against Pokémon Champions is warranted or not. There's been 4 main problems for people: performance, the monetization, available Pokemon, and available content. And we start with the performance because I really can't defend Nintendo on this one. 30 FPS? Really? In 2026? On the Switch too? That's just embarrassing, man. Like, the game isn't unplayable or anything, but holy moly, how difficult can it be, man? It's not even a big mainline game or anything where you have to build a huge world or something. All you other render is isolated in a single battle arena. I hope we can get a 60 FPS patch down the road, because this is really disappointing and deserves every ounce of criticism. Now let's talk about the monetization, because the game is actually free to play, everyone can download it and start off right away, but there's some grinding to be made, grinding that can be made easier with real money purchases. The thing is, we aren't talking about Clash of Clans or Clash Royale where you can just skip the process entirely by buying inhumane amounts of gems. The only thing you can do here is buy a battle pass or a monthly membership subscription, offers that give you more items, more Pokemon, and also let you earn more VP, the in-game currency with which you buy items, train your Pokemon to change nature moves, etc, and just get new Pokemon in the first place. A currency that is not purchasable directly, but instead can be earned via challenges or achievements. And I think that is a solid system. Like, you can play this free-to-play game without making any additional purchases so easily. Like, you get offered a lot for free. Buying the battle pass like I did is so lonely for those that really feel like playing a lot, and even in that case it's really not necessary. You get a free team at the start, you can easily get new Pokemon via recruiting, and don't forget that you can get like your own Pokemon via Pokemon Home added to the game as well. Like, any complaints about monetization feels like a complete non-issue to me here. I know Nintendo has earned a lot of criticism for their prices in the past, like with Mario World or when re-releasing old titles, but this is a free-to-play game with totally fair additional purchase options. People complaining here only complain because it's Nintendo. And no, I'm not some Nintendo bootlegger and criticize where necessary, but the monetization model is really not a problem. What about the Pokemon themselves? This is where I saw a lot of complaints coming through, because Pokémon Champions launched with only a selected amount of available Pokemon to use. And while I understand that people get upset about not being able to use their favorite Pokemon, what did you expect? Did you seriously expect them to just make every single Pokemon available from day one? I personally find it much more exciting to have a selected amount to kick things off, seeing a meta start building, especially after recent move and balancing adjustments, and for those metas to change as new Pokemon get added in the upcoming months and as time goes on. Like, it's only logical for them to release Pokemon in bunches so that people actually get the time to use them before potentially moving on to another team to try out. Like, I don't know if Nintendo is just going to fill the roster to the cap over time, or if they're actually going to rotate the roster. Like, imagine all the Pokemon available right now would not be available during the next season. Shaking the meta up like that could be super fun. I do expect that if anything they would only take out half and then a new half and so on. Like, not switch the entire roster from one day to another. Either way, another point where I find the criticism to not really be that understandable. Seems kinda silly to just throw out any potential for exciting and mixing things up down the road. Which brings me to the last major criticism point, and that's the otherwise available content. Because besides some Pokemon missing, we do not have every item available yet. Some people have said that we did not get 6v6 battles, some people also don't like that there's no offline battling. To the items I can say the same thing to the Pokemon roster. I personally find it more exciting and intriguing this way, to rather slowly build the available options than just completely throwing everything out there right away. And things like the 6v6 or offline battles, I don't know what people were expecting that. The game was always labeled as the new home for VGC, and VGC had never really hosted any of those things. Like, VGC has always been a team of 6 into 4v4. Why were we suddenly expecting anything else? Like, you're free to find it unfortunate, no doubt, but what do you people expect? For Nintendo to suddenly change the VGC formula after decades? I mean, sure, they could have added it for funs and giggles, but the entire point of the game is to host the VGC scene, so why would they need anything that isn't VGC ranked battles? And to be fair, 3v3 isn't VGC either, I know that, but don't you think there's reasons to not include 6v6? I mean, the least fun strategies on Showdown become available in that format. You really think Nintendo wants to throw new players into something like that? Which is how I want to end this video, by the way. Pokémon Champions is aimed towards new players. It's supposed to be a new way for people to get into the VGC format. All the decisions they've made are made to ensure those people that try out VGC for the first time will keep playing. Immediately throwing the full roster of Pokemon and every single available item into the ring, you don't think that would be overwhelming? This game is great for experienced players, while being even better for newer players to start getting into the competitive scene. Like, the entire recruiting process is so cool for people to try out new Pokemon, including myself. I got some Pokemon from Legend CA via home, and I've gotten the rest via the recruitments, and guess what? I don't have home on my handheld, I never played Legends Arceus nor finished Scarlet, so getting the opportunity to easily get Pokemon from either of those games is incredible. Pokemon Champions is not perfect by any means, and like mentioned, desperately needs a 60 FPS patch ASAP, but in terms of content, the way the recruiting and adjusting Pokemon works, how easy and accessible it is for new players, and that on a free-to-play basis, this game is genuinely fantastic. I hate rating multiplayer games because the ratings can always change as time goes on, but my launch rating for the game would be 9, which means incredible. Other than the not optimized performance, I really don't have anything to complain about. Genuinely, my biggest problem is the tempo, okay? I played so much emulator and speed up in recent months, so now playing official hardware and that online with wait times, my brain has become too rotted for that, hence I won't play the game for like hours non-stop. But getting in 2 to 3 battles every day now sounds fucking awesome. We finally got an official VGC game, and to me, it does an incredible job. There's some very new criticism to be made, but Pokémon Champions is without a doubt overhated. Anyways, that shall be it with the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like to show me that you did. Your thoughts on Pokemon Champions down below in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you want to support me, then gladly leave a sub or join to become a channel member to support me even further. It would help me a lot. I got a lot more Pokemon content coming up, but definitely more Pokemon Champions content. Till then, it's Niclas. Enjoy yourself some video games, and I can't wait to see you back soon on my channel.